Buddhism is a religion of Indo-Aryan origins, but the Japanese version of it has incorporated the indigenous pre-existing pagan Shinto faith into it and developed its own native schools out of it. Although it's usually been considered as Indic in origin, new historical interpretations and scholarship about Gautama Buddha in recent years, particularly the works of Harvey Kraft, have discovered that the Buddha might not have been a native of India to begin with, but was rather a political fugitive from Media that was exiled by Darius the Great to India. The particular type of Buddhism that's most predominant in China, Korea, and Japan is Mahayana Buddhism, and that originated in the Gandhara civilization, Khorasan, Afghanistan, and northern India, where missionaries introduced it to China via the Silk Road and to Korea and Japan from there. That territory was Eastern Iran for most of its history and also played an incredibly huge role in the development of Mahayana Buddhism that's largely overlooked and neglected by Iranologists and by scholars of Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism is the native faith of the Japanese as much as Shinto is. In their culture, they're intertwined and connected. The arrival of Buddhist missionaries into Japan who introduced the religion to the archipelago is first attested to through a Chinese account. The Japanese account on the origins of Buddhism in the archipelago conflicts very badly with the former, particularly when it comes to the information on how it arrived, when it arrived, who introduced it, and where they came from. According to the Chinese account, the Book of Liang, written in 635, 5 monks from Kippen, Kabul, introduced Buddhism to Japan for the first time in 467. But the Japanese account of Buddhism's arrival in the country, primarily the Nihon Shoki, conflicts very badly with the Chinese source and is in all likelihood a manufactured history, because we know how Buddhism developed in China to begin with, and how it was South Central Asian missionaries and theology that underpinned it and brought the religion there to begin with. Plus, there's no record of any Chinese monks coming to Japan before the Asuka period, which is decades after the Book of Liang's account of the Kabuli monks coming to Japan. But the Nihon Shoki text claims that Buddhism came to the archipelago in 552, and that the missionaries who came were sent there by the Korean Baekje kingdom. It's still a matter of public record that both Central Asia and China's contact with the Silk Road made the former the primary conduit by which Buddhism was spread, regardless of the ethnic origins of the missionaries. What sets Japan apart from Korea is that there was no religious shift towards Christianity to the point where most South Koreans are Protestants and Mahayana Buddhism isn't as relevant or dominant as it used to be in the Korean peninsula. Japan embraced the West almost wholeheartedly, but in a different manner than the Koreans. So Japan is still largely a pagan country and also seen by many neo-pagans in the West as a role model. There's also a largely overlooked and neglected Scythian legacy in Japan that I alone know about, or so it seems, but that's a subject for another episode.